Our main aim on Struan Valley Pastoral is to really work with nature, and we're trying to build our carbon levels in our soil, and we're trying to build resilience in our property.
We grew our potatoes in very traditional methods in days of old, and on one of our farms we got into a lot of trouble. We've had a 4-year rotation, we tended to run out of soil structure, we weren't growing good enough grass, and we finished up with all the soil diseases.
Early on I like to think that we can maximise production out of maximising animals, and I thought a bit more about it. We could maximise our plant growth and then the animals will sort themselves out, and then at the end of the day you realise one of the more important ways to maximise your plant growth is to maximise soil health.
We've tried a lot of things over the years, but it gets back to the soil. It's all about, if you're a farmer, it's all about the soil, and we've largely sort of followed that as a concept ever since, and we're now getting some really excellent results. We don't have to spray for insects anymore because we don't have stressed plants anymore, and everything's got better since then.
Yeah, that looks really nice actually. Instead of it being white root like that, we want them to have this clump of soil, and that's actually held together by a mass of microbes. The plant feeds those microbes with exudates, and the microbes feed the plant with sourcing nutrients. So that's kind of what we're aiming for.
The more of that you have, the healthier the soil, the faster those plants can absorb nutrients, and so the healthier the plant.
The things that we have available to us that are so important is rainfall, sunshine and soil. And if we really concentrated on those 3 things, that to me seemed going to be the best way to farm.
You know, we're naturally mining our soils through growing a product, so we need to be putting back in, and we're trying to reduce the amount of artificial fertilisers we're putting in. So we're really looking at organic-based fertilisers or composts to improve vine health as well, and therefore that'll improve the sustainability of our vineyards, and the vines should last longer and yield longer as well.
We've definitely reducing our inputs of drenches and broad insecticides across our pastures. We've started summer cover cropping and also winter cover cropping, trying to keep everything with a growing plant all year round.
Basically our whole aim is to maximise photosynthesis. A really important component to it is using your grazing mob as a management tool to manage your grass. I think that's probably one of the most important bits, don't you?
Yeah, that made the biggest change, I reckon.
We have a grazing program where the grass is left to grow untouched for 11 months of the year. We're growing about 20% more grass than we were growing when we started, and it's all building up carbon, we're building up soil moisture, and we're building up nutrient. And importantly, building up soil carbon, the ability to hold water. Where the deep-rooted permanent pastures take over, we're getting less bulb in wet weather.
Water is infiltrating better. We're finding that we may not need to irrigate till quite late.
We use much less water now than we ever did.
A lot of the species that grow in the summer have got the ability to push their roots deeper into our dense subsoil, where there is moisture there, but our annual plants struggle to push through into it.
And the deeper the roots go, that is the key to having a farm that is drought resistant and grows more food, because it's got more access to minerals to be able to grow that grass faster. And that's the key to a successful farm.
It's all got to do with cutting back nutrient loss, not rocket science.
Our farm is the first one to go green, and it's the last one to go brown. The whole sort of farm system works better.
It does work better.
Over time, what we're finding is we're able to increase our output. We're able to increase the turn-off of meat and wool, but we're now reducing superphosphate applications because we're actually stopping the nutrient loss.
And when our paddocks are healthy, then the pastures are healthy. When our pastures are healthy, our cattle are healthy. So it all just flows on together. I have to say, working more with nature, I feel like it's one of the most beautiful ways you can farm.